When you place a wager with William Hill Sportsbook, every sports moment becomes even more interesting. And we have a special offer to help you bet on all your favorite sports risk-free. Download the William Hill mobile app, and when you sign up, you can get started with a risk-free bet of up to $500. Use promo code RADIORF. Must be present in New Jersey. 21 plus only. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org. Let's make it interesting with William Hill Sportsbook.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Jennie Walker, and welcome to Closet Conversations. Today I want to talk to you about Poshmark scammers. Why? Because one's been nipping on my heels, and it came to fruition tonight, and I'm like, I've never really talked about it, but there's a lot of scamming going on Poshmark. I know that part of what they do is to, mitigate and, reduce the amount of problems that are on the site. I mean, it's going to happen. All the sites have problems like this. All the sites have scammers. They are not being singled out. But I just had a really unique one happen today, so I just want to tell you about it because, So anyway, let me tell you what happened to me. So I have around 1,850 items now listed on Poshmark. A lot of vintage, designer, my vintage Moschino, just a range of things, mostly women. And I've been doing a lot better lately at finding like cool vintage. But first I was finding unique vintage, but now I'm like, I'm really looking for the cool stuff because it's out there and there's so much to go through anyway. I'm really going to focus on super, super cool things. So I found this. It almost looks like someone in the circus should be wearing this thing. It's a red ribbon cropped jacket from the 80s with big shoulder bags, big roomy, bat wing. It kind of dolman. It goes out. It has black velvet lining at the cuffs that have a split in it that turn up like French cuffs. And the collar is black velvet. It is a showstopper. I mean, this is something you can wear with a top hat, skinny jeans, skinny pants and boots and just, take on the world. It's so cute. By a brand named Lisa Elliott, who I've never heard of, and looking online, I can find nothing on it, but probably one of these 80s brands that came and went and didn't last long, and I'm telling you, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. So it's in my Poshmark closet, and I have it listed very high, and usually if something's really high, that means I don't really care if I sell it, or it's really special, so I'm only going to sell it to someone who's willing to pay me a premium. So that was in that category. I think I had this, jacket listed over $300. And so anyway, I had it listed, and someone made me an offer on Poshmark, and it was low. It was like, under 100, like $80, something like that. And I was just like, no, it's not going to happen. So I made a counter offer, and then they came back at $125, and then I made a counter offer, and we were very, very far apart on the asking price. So my asking price at that point I think was $315. They were at $125, so you see we have very far to go. Didn't think anything of it. Timed out the offers, and that was that. Didn't think anything more about it. It was like a week or so ago. So then today in Instagram I get a message. Well, yesterday on Instagram, I got a message, and this person who is a little bit, they have a private account. Now, this is very important to know. They have a private account on Instagram. They contacted me on Instagram. Their emoji is a kitty cat. Their name, the name of their, their handle is like female-oriented, but the name of the cat is male-oriented. Okay, so they wrote and they said, hi, I just want to inquire about an item you have listed on Poshmark. So I said, of course, what would you like to know? And people send me a lot of messages on Instagram. They're interested in my vintage Moschino. They're interested in partnerships, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of reasons people reach out to me. But I hadn't had any scammers in a long time. So they said, listen, I had made an offer on an item you had listed. I am wanting to buy it as a gift for a girlfriend. It's always a gift, by the way. It's always a gift for someone. I'm just concerned about the size. You did include measurements, but still concerned. I just wanted to chat with you since I found something else to buy for her, but wanted to check in with you before I did in case you had more flexibility with the price, and I have a budget for her gift. So they sent me a picture of the Lisa Elliott Bolero jacket, and I'm just looking at the price. Actually, yeah, the last price was actually less than that. My last counter was $225 on their $125 offer. So that was last week, and then it says they've shared a picture of that exchange in the Instagram, and it says this was last week. Let me know your thoughts, maybe. Thank you. And I said, oh, okay, yes, it's a great piece. And I said, usually when something is super special, I wait for a higher bidder. And they said, I understand. I said, well, what size is she? So they said, she's a medium. Last time I saw her, but she had expressed she'd gained a bit of weight with a little sad emoji since last time I saw her before the pandemic started, so that worries me. I'm like, person does not know the size of their girlfriend, and they haven't seen them since the pandemic. Okay, doesn't make sense, right? So I said, well, it's a generous cut, meaning there are no shoulder seams to worry about. And I said, what is it about this jacket you like? Because I'm like curious, really random, right, this particular jacket. And it just says, I had already given up on it, but I keep getting messages from Poshmark's LOL. So they have where Poshmark will send you a message saying, still interested in the Lisa Elliott red, black velvet trim bolero jacket? Get it before it's gone. So they sent me 3 of these, one from 4 days ago, one from 2 days ago, one from 22 hours ago. Okay, this is a lot of work, all right? So I said, nice. And they said, oh, she loves the color red. So I said, okay. And then they said, this is why, and it seems it's something she would wear. And I said, well, it's super cute, vintage piece for sure. I can meet you in the middle of the price at $175. And then they say, that being said, and the purpose of my message is that my budget is $150, and then 3 little faces on there, little sad faces. And they said $150 is a lot for a gift, but LOL, she is so worth it. And I said, well, the jacket is currently at the Pasadena Antique Mall in my booth, and I can go tomorrow and see if it's still there. And then they say, she always do nice to me, which is not great English, right? So I don't know who these people are. She's always do nice to me. So they're not speaking standard English, so I don't know what's going on there. So like a clue. And then it says, oh, I see you're not certain if it's still available. And I said, yes, it should be, but I can't say for sure until tomorrow. They won't let me in on the weekends. And they said, okay, let me know. And if it is, if you would consider. He says, I would be ready to buy ASAP. So I said, let me get in my possession first, and then I'll make a decision on it. And so they said, okay, I'll just wait for your reply. That sounds good. So today I went to the Antique Mall. Again, I schlepped all the way over there. I get it. I bring it home, and I'm thinking, oh, this is cute. I said, let me see if I can't calculate an offer for them. And so I just said, okay, I'll meet you in the middle at $165 if you want to splurge on this on your girlfriend, because obviously $165 is more than $150. And I said, if not, if it's too much, no worries. And they came back and said, hello, thanks for getting back to me, smiley face. I will take it for $165. I just asked for a favor. If you could remove the photo and replace it with anything you wish, and also remove the brand from the listing by editing it. My friend is a Poshmarker, and I know her. If she finds out how much I paid, she will not accept it. If you can do this, do me that favor, please, smiley face. I will send the offer for $165, smiley face, thank you. I'm like, seriously? Seriously? Are you serious? Like, I've never had anyone ask me this particular scammy thing, right? These people want me to remove the photo of the item and take out the brand and put anything I want and somehow sell it to them on Poshmark and mail it to them. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, right? So, obviously, you do that, you know, item not as described, blah, 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 you know, whatever. I am very proud of selling on Poshmark. I'm a Poshmark ambassador. I've sold over 1,000 items. I'm about to hit 100,000 in sales. Just like very, very close. And I do not mess around with this. It's just so interesting that these people would go to the links that they're going to get this out of me. And so I just said, can't do that. And then they said, does it violate any Posh policy? Now, the fact that even saying that, like knowing that there's Posh policies and that it might violate is like clue again. So I said, all of them. And so then they came back and said, I just reviewed Poshmark and don't see anything prohibiting my request, but I understand. I thought you said this in the offer. I just received a decline. I hope my request did not offend you. Because as soon as they sent that message asking for me to make those alterations, I knew I wasn't going to sell to them at any price for any reason. I was just done, right? And so I said, I'm not going to sell this to you now, and yes, I'm offended, so please find another item. And then the little kitty cat says to me, she's just very particular and was just asking a question, simply a question. I apologize if you were offended. That is not my intention. Thanks. If you reconsider, please let me know. Be well. And I'm like, okay. So kitty cat on Instagram has a private account, so you know anything about them. If you look at the particular account I obviously won't tell you what it is, but the account that they use on Poshmark, it has no items listed at all, brand new account, and it just has like a flower as it's like no sales, no nothing, no feedback. It has like some flower thing. So like there's absolutely nothing, and some like weird name that has nothing to do with anything, right? So I'm just sitting here going, you know, this is what people do. They open up these accounts on Poshmark. They try to get you to have a transaction off of the site. So I've always thought of it as transaction off of the site because whenever you list anything good, you can pretty much guarantee you're going to get an email on the bottom a message on the bottom that says, oh, I love your item. I wonder if it'll fit my daughter. I need some measurements. Could you please email me at? And, you know, Poshmark has a spam detector. And so they're constantly like removing this stuff, but they don't get every one, and they can't always remove it before you've seen it. And so, you know, you'll have a comment, and then it'll be a comment instead of a like oftentimes, and then it's this message having you try to contact them. So that's the one I'm the most familiar with, but I've never had anybody contact me on Instagram for Poshmark sale, you know, ask me to make those changes. So the fact that they contacted me off of the Poshmark app completely meant whatever they were going to say to me, they wanted no record of it, right? No record on Poshmark because it couldn't have been had on the Poshmark app. They could have put it in a bundle. They could have had a conversation with me there about the price. Everything could have been there except the part where they're asking me to remove the photos and change the brand. So obviously this was intentional. They knew they had to engage with me off of the site to even have me consider this. And, of course, I'm not interested in playing those kinds of games, and I'm kind of fascinated that this has happened, and it kind of reminded me of there was a very, very, very well-known TikToker that did something that they got scammed on, and, you know, I actually talked to her, and I was going to have her on my show, but I didn't pan out, and for a number of reasons. But what I did learn in my short conversation with her is there was an exchange that had nothing to do with Poshmark that took place outside of the system. There was one certain kind of exchange. So that kind of tells me that there are going to be tons of opportunities for scams to take place the minute you take it off the site. And so you've got to keep every communication on the site. You have to make sure everything is tracked. You have to make sure no matter what someone says to you, no matter how convincing it is, no matter if they find you. I mean, this is the thing. I have items on eBay. I have items on Poshmark. I have items on Mercari. I have this podcast. I mean, I have things all over the place. And I do encourage people to contact me, like people listening now on my Instagram. But people will reach out to me, and they will say, hey, I saw this on Poshmark. They try to have a conversation off of Poshmark. I had someone talk to me about a wedding gown that I had, and they were trying to be, you know, they're always giving the sob story of the budget and blah, 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 blah. Could you take less and blah, blah, blah. Well, in the case of that wedding dress, I didn't sell to them, and I ended up selling it for full price to someone else who just came in and bought it and loved it. And, you know, I'm not interested in saving a dime or even a hint of it by doing anything off of any platform. I am loyal to each of the platforms. I want to follow all of their rules. And it's up to me to be mindful that when people contact me off the sites, to make sure, like, people are like, do you sell? What's so interesting is they think they're doing you a favor, but they're not. They think by getting you off of the platform that somehow they're helping you. They're not helping me. There's nothing about that that's beneficial to me. Everything about the platforms and the protections that they offer are one of the reasons I love using them. There's a middleman. There's someone who you can be accountable to on both sides as a buyer and a seller. And, you know, I don't even do just regular PayPal off of Instagram. If someone wants to buy something from me, they have to go to one of my platforms. You have to go to eBay, or you have to go to Poshmark, you have to go to Mercari. And anyone who asks me to sell outside of a platform where they found me, it's no, period. I've had people who saw me on eBay and they're like, will you sell to me on PayPal off Instagram? I said, no, absolutely not. eBay deserves their fee. You found me on eBay. You need to buy it from me on eBay. I won't even sell it to you on Poshmark or any other place. You wanna buy it from me on eBay, do it. Go through their system. And these people, when you say no, they do disappear. These sales do not complete. It's just scams. They're just, you know, they're trying to trick you. And there's not, I mean, I've got so much inventory and things are flying in and out of here right now. There is nothing anybody has to offer me that's going to interest me one bit in doing something outside of the platform. If you want to buy from me outside the platform, you're going to need to be in my store on 1033 Green Street in Pasadena, California. We have security cameras. I've got a credit word machine. I've got a POS system, and everything can be documented. So I don't play that game, and neither should you. And I think it's really important that to remind yourself that any communication that has to do with selling on any of the platforms that's taking place off the platform, you need to encourage them to contact you there. As a matter of fact, because I didn't really know what they want at the beginning, I engaged in the conversation. But in retrospect, what I should have done is say, I only communicate on the Poshmark app about Poshmark items. Any offers that you have for me, you should stay within there. But anyway, after this exchange ended, I took the item. I declined their offer. I think I mentioned I made the item not for sale on Poshmark, so they can't buy it. And I have all of the information. I've screenshotted everything that they said to me on Instagram, and I have their account information on Poshmark, and I will be reporting them. So, yeah, I take it seriously, and so should you. And there's no $100 or $20 or whatever that's worth it to even consider it, and can certainly shut them down real quick. And that's what happened here. I just quit communicating. Eventually I will block these people, but haven't done it yet because want to make sure those accounts are still around so that Poshmark can do their due diligence and see what's going on. Now, aside from that example on Poshmark, there is a lot I have noticed because I spend a lot of time late at night. Like, I'm recording this podcast at about 11 o'clock at night on Pacific time, right? So a lot of people are asleep on the East Coast. And I go into Poshmark because I'm always looking for new users and I'm trying to follow them. And what I notice is about around midnight or this time, the computer bots are all over Poshmark and they are creating these just account after account after account. And you can tell because they don't have regular names or it's the same picture. The ones coming up today were all wigs. It was like the weirdest thing. Strange names. They'll have the same picture of wigs, or they'll have like the same picture of like athletic wear shirts. And you know it's all spam. Or if you get the ones that have the fake designer items, they're always priced around $200 and something because obviously $500 is the price at which Poshmark must authenticate everything. So all of the luxury items are like $247 or $298 or $225 to be way under their threshold. there's lots of fakes that I see go up there, these fake accounts, and it looks like it's just bots that are just pushing them out. So there's a lot of that going on, and I am sure that their security team is working to do that. I've actually seen things that no one should see that are X-rated. It looked like someone was trying to hook up, I've seen things, and I screenshotted something I saw. I never sent it to anybody. I was afraid to send it to Poshmark because I was afraid that I was in possession of something so offensive. But this stuff is going on, so they're working, of course, to shut this down as best they can. We're dealing with information technology, whatever. But you, as a seller, you really should be mindful that any of this stuff that's going on, this is not going to be in your favor. You need to shut it down. You need to just ignore it. What I do when I get those comments about their email, every single one of them I report as a transaction off Poshmark or spam, and then that deletes the comment from the item so that no one can see it. And I just, call it a day. But this contacting me off of Poshmark, this on my Instagram for this particular purpose, asking me to change the title and change the picture. I mean, give me a break. Like, I can just imagine the claim that they would put in. I did not receive item as described, and then they're like, and I have some random thing up there. You can just imagine. But there's absolutely nothing right about that. So keep that in mind. These scams do go on all the platforms, but on Poshmark in particular. Please be mindful of people who contact you and find you on Instagram or who find you outside of the platform, and always encourage them to communicate with you on that platform, because I can guarantee you a $20 or whatever it is you think you're going to make extra, it's not worth it. Take it from me. This is Jennie Walker with JennieGirl's Closet, and I look forward to having you with me on a future episode. If you'd like to be in touch with me and you don't have something scammy to do, I'm on Instagram at JennieGirl's Closet.